Cheers! Today we've got a couple of potato recipes, so it's all about potatoes. We love potatoes, me and Mark, and I'm from Lithuania, which you could probably call potato country. Well, our national dishes have, you know, a lot of potato in them. So we'll do potato pancakes and also potato pie. So let's get to it. So first up we will be making potato pancakes. So I've got my non-stick pan. Well, it's actually roasting tin, but I'm using it over two hob gas bits. So I've got some shredded some potato and also some carrot in there. Normally you do it through a very fine kind of grater where it becomes kind of like a mush. However, we don't own such a thing on our food processor. The smallest is the one that actually is like little strands like this, which is actually even better because it kind of holds together better that way. So I've got some, I don't know, maybe about 5-6 potatoes in here and 1 carrot. And normally when you do a big amount like this, you get quite a bit of water at the bottom there. So what you can do, you can pour water out into a bowl. Obviously don't pour it into sink. Pour water out into a bowl and wait for the starch to accumulate at the bottom, and then add the starch back to the potatoes. And what I'm going to do, instead of an egg, because normally they are made with egg, so instead of an egg, to mix with that, I've got some chickpea brine, which I, told you, well, not brine, chickpea water, from me boiling the chickpeas. So I'm going to add 3 tablespoons, because 3 tablespoons equate to about 1 egg. So 3 tablespoons of chickpea water. Then I've got some salt, so I'll add about half a teaspoon of salt in here. This is quite nice with more salt actually. And then quite a bit of black pepper. And then I'll put about a teaspoon of onion powder in there. So I've got it through a little sieve because mine are a bit lumped up. So I'll just sieve it through to make sure there's no lumps. So yeah, and I'm gonna be dry frying my potato pancakes. Obviously, if you're using oil, you can put a little bit of oil as well. So yeah, so I'll mix this mixture now. Mix it through. And I'm going to be forming the pancakes from it. It's quite nice and moist. So yeah, just form pancakes. Don't make them too large. It'll be smaller, easier to flip. And then kind of press it together. And then I'll place it on the heated pan. So I'll do that for the whole pan. I'll make 6 little pancakes. Try and make them kind of a bit more level, like so they are kind of the same thickness throughout. So when you put it on the pan, if the middle is a bit bigger, just press it down. So yeah. And you can press the water a little bit out if they're too moist when you make them. There, 2 more. So this is going to be our lunch today, me and Mark. And for dinner we're going to our friends for New Year's Eve. But I'm going to be making this potato pie, like I said, which we'll take with us. I haven't made too many here for the pancakes. I might add a little bit more because I've got more grated potato to make a couple more pancakes. I've only got one left. And 6 pancakes definitely not going to be enough for me and Mark for sure. So yeah, so I'll fry them for about 2-3 minutes on one side, and then we're going to flip them. So there we go, we've got the pancakes. I'm going to flip them now. They kind of drying out from the underside, as you can see. So I'm going to do a bit of flipping. There we go, looks actually really good. Important, if you do dry frying, important to get your pan, you know, hot enough at the start and let them kind of fry for a little bit until they stiffen up before you try flipping them. So there we go. They're actually really nice. And then now we'll let it fry for another 2-3 minutes. And while we do that, I'll show you other things. So I have made, it's kind of looking a bit greeny, so I've made like a sour cream from tofu, from soft tofu. So I put one tofu together with the water and everything, you know, that was in the soft tofu container, and then I'll put some salt, and I put half of lemon juice in there as well. So, and for the green color I put some dill. So obviously you could also chop dill and put afterwards, so you can blend it so it's white, and then chop bits of dill, so you've got, you know, kind of tzatziki looking sour cream, but I kind of fancied a green one this time. And then in here we have some more grated potatoes and carrots, and we're gonna be mixing this with some rainbow veg left over from yesterday's pizzas. So I'm gonna be mixing that, and also what we need while we baking this, I'm gonna put the milk. So I'll put 1 cup of soy milk to heat. So we'll heat the milk until it's boiling and pour on the potato pie mixture. So yeah, so I'm using soya milk here. You could use any milk you use, I guess almond or oat, cashew, or any kind of other nut or seed milk would work, I think. So yeah, so I'm heating this through, and we're gonna resume making the pie after. Now to the taste test. So I've got my potato pancakes or bulvini blini, and I'm gonna try a bit with the sour cream I already had made with the dill chopped in rather than blended in. I bet the photographer is saliving on the other side of the camera at the minute.
Do you mean salivating?
That's one. That's the one. Yeah, it's actually really good, guys. So yeah, so you kind of, with the pancakes, you need to make them and eat them as you go. So while I'll be making the potato pie, I'll be kind of nibbling at that. So yeah, so let's get on with the potato pie. So now let's get on with the potato pie. So I've squeezed the potatoes and carrots in like a nut milk bag, and then I left the water to settle in the bowl, and as you can see the starch has gathered. So I'll just scrape that starch off and put it into the potatoes, because it'll help it glue together. Glue the whole pie together. as we're not going to be using any eggs or anything in that. It's going to be enough liquid from the milk we are adding in, so we don't want too much liquid as well. So yeah, the starch has got this funny texture where it's kind of semi-solid and then becomes a liquid. So added all the starch. Then I'm going to be adding a tablespoon of onion powder into this as well. Tablespoon of onion powder. And actually, before we add any more spices, I'm going to pour the boiling milk on it. The soy milk has boiled, so I'm going to scald the potatoes with it. The point of pouring boiling milk onto your potatoes is to kind of scald them and make the whole pie softer and nicer. So just mix it through. So there we go. So that's it mixed in. Now we're going to add the rest of the spicings. So we're going to put about a tablespoon of salt. So well, 2 big teaspoons. We can add more, obviously, if it's not salty enough. And then I'm gonna do a generous grating of black pepper. As well. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of the kind of smoked paprika and kind of mixed spices. Bit of chili powder in there, smoked paprika, normal paprika, and onion powder. So I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of that as well, just for extra spice. You can put any spices you like. Maybe basil would be good, or parsley as well would go in there. So I'm gonna mix that through. And then we're going to add the all the veggies. So if you didn't have roast vegetables ready, so the easiest thing to do is to fry some onions and perhaps mushrooms. So mushrooms, onions and carrots are quite nice to fry and then add as an additional to this. So I'm going to add all the veggies I've had left over from the rainbow pizza. Have some colour in there. So there you go. So I'm gonna mix this through and add to our baking tin and into preheated oven. So we're ready to pour this mixture into our baking tin. There we go. Just even it out, level it out. It's probably about 15 potatoes in here and 1 carrot. You can do more or less depending obviously on your baking tin. So there we go. We are now ready to add this to the oven. For actually, a good idea is if you don't have a lid for your baking tin, then put some foil on it for about, I would say, 40 minutes or half an hour, and for the last half an hour then you can take it off and let it, you know, get nice and brown. But for the first half an hour, put a lid on or a foil. Okay, so I'll put that in a preheated oven. I've preheated oven on 200 degrees Celsius. Gonna add that. So it's been about 40 minutes. I'm gonna take the lid off and put the potato pie back in the oven to finish it off for about another 20 to 30 minutes. And also I forgot to mention that I also made a Chinese leaf avocado salad, and I'm gonna add a picture of it and also a recipe below the video as well. So basically all it is Chinese leaf, some tomatoes, then I put some olives, green olives, and made a sauce from avocado, mashed avocado, together with 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and 2 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce, and just blend it and then mix it all through. So and some dill, I've chopped up some dill as well. So yeah, so that's it. Very easy and quick salad. It's been about hour 20 for our potato pie, so let's have a look. Ooh, it's nicely browned on top, which you want, and you can still see some rainbow veggies poking out from there. So yeah, so guys, unfortunately we'll not do a tasting session this time because I'm going to put a lid on and we're going to take this hot to our friends for New Year's Eve. But I hope you try this at home. I hope you try either that or the potato pancakes, which are so easy to make. And I hope you got some tips and ideas, and see you for the next recipe.